I locked in, I guess, and I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. And I'm pretty sure I said, like, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm right. But since you're the police officer, you're probably right. So you're right. You're right. You know more than me, so you're right. I don't know. I thought I was in the right, but you're right. And he's like, just because I'm a police officer doesn't mean I'm right, bro. Maybe he fucked up, but you didn't have to be all crazy like that. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry. Hello, everyone tuning in. You are listening to episode 3 of the Pandulce podcast. Hell yeah. I just want to start by saying, why are you looking kind of sexy? Why are you looking kind of fine? Why are you looking low-key beautiful? I mean, you might think I can't see you right now, but I can see you a little bit just because of your aura, the aura you're giving off right now. I'm feeling it, I'm receiving it, and I feel blessed by it. And I hope you feel blessed by it too. If you're listening to this, you probably had a crazy week. I feel like you were balling, you were on top of your game. And maybe some of you right now are thinking like, Angel, actually, I wasn't balling. I broke my ankle. Or Angel, my dog died. That wasn't baller. I say to that, you can get a new dog and healthcare exists. You just gotta fight. You gotta find the right healthcare plan for you. So y'all, welcome to this week's episode. I am super excited because I feel like I got a lot of goofy shit to talk about today. What's crazy is that I came here today and I set up shop in my little office space, not office space. This place, by the way, it's just a classroom at my college campus. If you're listening to this and you can't see the video on YouTube, I'm just in a big classroom. It's not that appealing, maybe we'll get a different setup later, but this is what we have for now. And I went to go take a dump because I just had Chipotle, and I come back and there's like 3 bitches in the room just chilling. What the heck? And, bitches, I say bitches that I love. I don't mean that. Lovely ladies, 3 lovely ladies in the room. And I was just like, well, I knew one of them, so I had to be cool and just leave. But there are other rooms you can go to, yo. All right, that's my rant. I don't actually hate anybody that did that. I love y'all tremendously, tremendously, tremendously. I moved to a new room, wasn't a big deal, so I'm being a little baby about it. That's fucked up. Be a man. Be a man. The podcast clips have been popping off low-key. I'm proud of y'all for helping me out. I've been loving the goofy comments on them. We're going to keep making new podcast clips. I mean, I'm trying to keep the energy up so I could make a new podcast clip. Sometimes the Southern in me come out. Speaking of the Southern in me, I was watching Landman last night, and that shit kind of good. I don't know if, it's really good. I mean, you should check it out. I'm only on episode 2, watching with my friend Anthony Diaz. But that blonde girl, she's super fine in that. She insanely fine, and they doing it on purpose. They just throwing her up on the screen and ass cheeks jiggling and everything. It's a little much. I don't know if I can handle all that. It feels like I'm getting the recoil. But yeah, that's my little Southern. We'll come back to the Southern thing in a little bit. I gotta tell you about this crazy ass dream I had. So, the other night, I went to bed. And usually when I go to bed, I'm scared because I'm afraid of dying. And I just don't like sleeping because I'm afraid I'm going to die in my sleep. Which is unrealistic, but, it does happen. I remember when I was a kid, there was this little book about, fun facts that happen. And one of the fun facts was that you eat 8 spiders in a year when you're sleeping. So who's to say one of those spiders is not going to bite me when it's in my throat and poison me to death? I'm just saying. But this crazy dream I had was that I was at the Oscars. So, big dream already. Huge dream. And I'm chilling at the Oscars, and for some reason, this girl's next to me, and she just keeps smothering me. She just keeps taking up the armrest next to me. She just be taking up all the room. And I was like, this girl's mad annoying. She's just taking up all the space. But, she was kind of fine, a little bit. And then I realized that this girl isn't just some girl. It's Jenna Ortega. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my God, we're back to talking about Jenna Ortega. This is the second podcast where this has been talked about. But I think my dream, like, it was calling to me. Like, I woke up and I was like, this has to be on the pod. Because Jenna Ortega, she's like kind of like all up on my space. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm realizing now why this maybe happened is because I saw a clip on from SNL where someone was just like kind of all over Jenna Ortega and making her really uncomfortable and like pushing her and stuff. So maybe that's why I had this dream. But I'm having this dream, and then Jenna Ortega, she just starts like rubbing my face. And that was blissful. Like, I don't know. That just felt so romantic, and it was like, okay, Jenna's not really like all up in my space. She want me bad. So it was honestly like a beautiful moment. I felt very safe, and I felt very, at peace with what was going on. I was enjoying the Oscars. For some reason, the Oscars were in this like tiny ass theater in New Orleans, and Jenna was on my arm, so I guess I was winning in life. And I guess I had to go to the bathroom or something during the dream. So I go out, and for some reason I'm on this like highway bridge, and the highway bridge is like collapsing. And there's this guy, David Fiery, which you guys don't know him, but this man, David Fiery, I guess he's like the bridge controller. Like he's like the troll or something. So he's like, Angel, you got to watch out. The bridge is collapsing. Be careful. He was stressed the fuck out. Like, man was tweaking on my behalf. And all of a sudden, I see to my right that Mr. Jack Eve is there, which you guys don't know him either, but he, he's a great guy and whatever, he's my friend, but he's just chilling there and he's doing like hopscotch on the falling street highway. And I'm just like, holy shit, Jack, what's good? And I'm telling Jack like, yo, some crazy shit's happening with Jenna at the Oscars, bro. Come to the Oscars with me. But then I looked at Jack's outfit and I was like, maybe you're not dressed appropriately for the Oscars. So I ditched Jack and I just started jumping to the exit. And I make it, and David Fiery's like, oh, thank goodness you're safe. I kind of felt like Toad in like Super Mario 64 when you go up to him and he starts like, and gives you a little speech bubble, and he's like, oh, thank God you're safe, Mario. Danger's up ahead. That's what that felt like. So that was a crazy dream. And before I get into the next thing, which is also about Jenna Ortega, I want to talk about what happened to me before I got here. So crazy story. I was coming to film the podcast. I was like, okay, I'm low-key late on the podcast. I got to do this before it's 5 o'clock. I'm start going to the school, and there's this this cop, and he's pulled over this guy. And I'm going down the street super fast, and this guy just kind of goes, and he almost hits me. So I slam my horn at him, thinking, like, this guy's an idiot. Like, he didn't check before he went. And so I'm driving, and the cops' lights start flashing, and I'm just like, oh, fuck yeah, man. Pull this guy over again. Nah, bro, they're pulling me over. Oh, hell nah. So I get pulled over, and the cop comes up to me, and he's like, why'd you do that? And I looked at him dead in the eyes, and because my dumbass, like, I thought I was in the right, I guess. I go, what do you mean? And then I'm, like, afraid, like, okay, I'm going to get a ticket, and my mom's going to be super upset and whatever. But he's just like, yeah, man, like, I gave that guy the pass to go, and you just start honking at him? There's no reason to be using the horn like that. And I was about to say this, but I didn't say this. I was going to be like, actually, I was taught that you're supposed to use the horn whenever it's applicable. Not be afraid to use the horn. I didn't say that. But then I locked in, I guess, and I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. And I'm pretty sure I said, like, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm right. But since you're the police officer, you're probably right. So you're right. You're right. You know more than me, so you're right. I don't know. I thought I was in the right, but you're right. And he's like, just because I'm a police officer doesn't mean I'm right, bro. Maybe he fucked up, but you didn't have to be all crazy like that. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry. And he's like, what do you do, bro? And I was like, what do I do? And he's like, yeah, like, where you going? I was like, oh, I'm going to school. He's like, yeah, you're going to school? What are you doing right now? Or like, what do you study? And I was like, well, I study playwriting and screenwriting. Like, I write TV and movies. He's like, yeah, what are you working on right now? And I was like, actually, I'm about to go do this podcast, so maybe this will get talked about on it. He's like, no, man. Like, what movies are you writing? What TV shows are you writing? And I was like, well, I'm writing this movie called Out of the Gutter. And I was like, you seen Good Will Hunting? And he's like, yeah, man, I've seen Good Will Hunting. And I'm just like, well, it's kind of like Good Will Hunting, where there's like this kid, he's like down on his luck, but instead of him being like a math genius, he's like a professional bowler. And instead of it being a drama, it's a comedy, and it takes place in Chicago. And he's got this like 60-year-old coach whose name is Ron Jupiter, and he smokes cigars and like has an affair with the other coach. It's crazy. And that made him laugh. I guess he liked the idea. So, maybe this is a good idea for a script and I should keep writing it. And he's just like, all right, man, I'm not going to give you a ticket. Just get out of here. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I got out of there and I went to Chipotle. So, yeah. That was my crazy story. I mean, I had a whole plan for what I was going to say in this podcast way before this. And I was just like, I had to throw this in. So, back to the scheduled topics. Speaking of Jenna, going back to Jenna, because we always got to go back to Jenna. Did anybody else see that fucking trailer of her with The Weeknd? Why is she getting freaky with The Weeknd? I don't like that. Isn't The Weeknd like 40? Isn't Jenna like borderline 18? I know she's like 23, but come on, she's a little young looking. I don't like the forced Hollywood agenda with The Weeknd. The Weeknd. He's missing a letter in there. It's just like, The Weeknd is not hot. He's not sexy. I mean, I'm saying this as a straight guy, but like, come on, make it at least somebody sexy. The Weeknd is scary. Has anyone seen him speak English? That shit is terrifying. I mean, not English. He speaks English all the time, but I mean, speak Canadian, like his little accent. Like, it's just it's not given, yo. And, why did Jenna agree to this? I mean, maybe it's an amazing script and it's an amazing director. It's an amazing movie. I mean, the guy who directed it did direct Waves, but did we not learn from The Idol? Did we not watch the TikTok clips where he's like screaming? He's like, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you, man. Yeah, like, no. And what is it with him collecting the baddies? Why does he get Lily Rose Depp and Jenna? It's not computing? It's super ridiculous. I think Jenna, actually, she should star in one of my movies. That will get her the Oscar. If that's what she's after. I'm sure she's not after that. Maybe she's just after good projects and good work. But, me and my friends had a little idea over the summer called Nun Freaky, which sounds ridiculous, but guys, lock in. Hear this one out. So Nun Freaky, it's basically about this guy who's a sex addict and a degenerate, and his mom sends him to a Catholic college to like straighten him out, and he meets the nun there, which hopefully is Jenna Ortega if this ever gets greenlit. Blessed to God. And they like fall in love and like get freaky or whatever. And I don't know what the plot is beyond that, but I just thought it was a goofy idea. I mean, I'm saying it like it's a comedy, but me and my friend have been talking, and maybe it could be like a serious like dramedy or straight up drama about like religion, sex, freedom, adulthood, coming of age story. I don't know, but Jenna, if this script ever gets read and it gets put on your desk, pick that shit up, girl. Your Oscar is coming. It's knocking at the door. If you're not watching on video again, I just did a little knocking thing for the camera. Okay, so speaking of Oscars, Oscar nominations, Oscar pictures, somebody on Instagram wanted me to talk about it, and I'm here to do it because I love movies. So I was thinking that maybe we could do like an in-depth topic, like go through every category, but that just sounded so boring to me because I didn't watch most of these movies. So I'm just going to say that I want Dune to win Best Picture because that was like the best movie I saw last year. That movie was so good, I made it like my personality for like months. I had the Paul Atreides picture. I was watching the edits. I saw the movie in theaters multiple times. That movie's a fucking experience. One of the best movies I've ever seen. One of my favorite movies ever. Hey, I don't care if that makes me basic, bro. Like, I remember I watched Dune 1 right before I watched Dune 2 on my laptop. And then immediately went to go see Dune 2 in theaters with this man, Christian Wiese, great guy. Listen to his band, Seamstress. Great music. Love it. And it was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, when Paul at the end of the movie, spoilers, sorry, y'all. When Paul at the end of the movie is like, I'll take the hand of your daughter. I literally gasped, yo. And I'm a very dramatic person, but that was super cray. And just everything about that movie was aura, yo. Paul Atreides, hey man, he's better than Anakin Skywalker. I don't care. He's cooler. Sorry. And that just solidified the Timothée Chalamet glaze for me. I mean, I was glazing him on Wonka. I love Wonka. I really like Wonka. But watching Dune 2 was like, this guy's next level, yo. Tom Holland, step up your game, man. But do I think Dune will win Best Picture? I'm hoping it does. I don't know if it will. I don't think it's expecting to. I don't think anybody in that crew or cast is expecting it to win. Emilia Perez, you probably heard everyone talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it for too long. I looked at some of the clips. Songs are cringy. The Spanish, what was that Spanish, yo? And about the main actress and her crash out online for her racist or a bunch of shit. She did a lot. She has been like discontinued by Netflix. She's not on the shelves anymore. She's not for sale. Just kidding. I mean, she's not for win by the Oscars anymore. But I saw someone online say she's probably going to pull up in the Uber. So, yeah. I just feel like Emilia Perez, maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. Anora, hey, I watched Anora. I think I was supposed to love Anora. I don't know, like I went to that movie thinking this is an important movie. And I went out thinking like, I liked it. I feel like as a straight man, one of the takeaways I got from that movie, well, no, this is not the point of the movie at all. But I thought Mikey Madison was extremely hot in that movie. That's not the point of the movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. But Best Picture, I don't know. I see people talk a lot about Sean Baker and his decision to only do movie about sex workers and how it's weird. And know that the no intimacy coordinator thing, that's kind of weird too. I don't know what the deal is with that. I think Mikey Madison kind of ruined her chances a bit. I mean, no, maybe I don't know shit. Mikey Madison's going to win this Oscar, but I don't think that helped her chances. And, like, who does that? Like, who asks the actor, like, do you want an intimacy coordinator? It just kind of, like, sounds like you, the director, don't want an intimacy coordinator. And now if the actor wants one, it's like a burden, which is so ridiculous. Oh, yeah, and so going back to Mikey Madison, Beautiful Woman, yeah, that's not the point of the movie. I just felt like I haven't had anyone to talk about it with, and I needed to get that out there, which is just known. It's just a thing. No need to go on it any further. Okay. So pivoting off that, let's talk about public transportation. Enough of the Oscars, enough of the fame, enough of the Hollywood, enough of all the buzz, yo. Let's talk about what really matters. I mean, somebody out there on my Instagram was like, you need to talk about public transportation and your passion for them. And you know what? I am kind of passionate about this. Imagine you're invited to the Oscars and you're in New York. You could take a plane, but imagine if you could take a train straight across all the way to Los Angeles. It sounds impractical, but imagine how lit that would be. Train from Alaska to California. Train from Hawaii to California. Remember that episode in BoJack Horseman, or like the ongoing gag where they had a highway to California? Train, yo. We don't need the highway. I just think it would help American society so much. And it would just be so baller, yo. And what if the train was like fast as shit? Like what if it like, I can get from here to Los Angeles in like 2 hours? That'd be insane. That'd be life-changing. Another thing I love is Universal Orlando. I don't know if you guys have been there, but you see the Hogwarts train in Orlando, Florida, the Hogwarts train, that's kind of cool. Imagine there was a train that took you straight into that station and you got to go to Universal Orlando. That'd be a dream. Imagine some of the trains were like really short and it was like a roller coaster. So it would get you from point A to point B. They should do that on college campuses, like on Harvard. Harvard should be the first person to do that. They have like a roller coaster that gets you from one building to the other building. And it's free. It's like, you just got to get over your fear to get to class on time. That'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy animated short film. Someone should write that. Maybe I will. Speaking on Orlando, Florida, I mean, I saw this girl on TikTok, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love Universal Orlando. I can't wait to go back. And it's just like, where does somebody find a girl like that? Where do I find that? I need that in my life so bad. I looked at her TikTok, and she had a man. She got a boyfriend. Sucks, man. It's just like, I feel like it's the opposite of the Disney adult. Like, the Universal adult, that's fire. Yeah, I want to go to Universal. Hell yeah, I want to get on the Velocicoaster. If you guys haven't been on the Velocicoaster, you got to do that. That shit is amazing. And what's low-key even better than the Velocicoaster, hot take, is Hagrid's coaster, Hagrid's motorbike adventure, whatever it's called. That thing is sick. Like, you're on a little motorcycle and you're like going high fast speeds. It's like, it's a beautiful thing. You're just holding on to it. You go backwards, and then when you're like in the seat and you're in this dark room, you think nothing's happening. All of a sudden, the floor, it just falls below you. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And I need to go back to Orlando now. This podcast needs to do numbers because I need a little dollar to go back there because I'm in a lot of debt. Last thing I want to talk about today that somebody wanted me to say, so you know what, I'm going to throw it in here. I'm going to mention it, is someone said there's an asteroid hitting Earth. What the fuck? That's so whack. I hope it's not true. I hope it doesn't happen. But I also looked into it a bit, and it was like maybe by 2031 it might hit us. So that gives me some time. Maybe hit a Waffle House at least one more time. Maybe start a family. Maybe start 2 families. You know how Mexicans be doing that. Maybe it's my turn. I got an inside joke with my uncle where he'd be like, hey, how's the family? And I'll be like, hey, man, you know, I had to leave them at home. They're being really fucking annoying right now. It's like, hey, man, like, shh. That's what I tell the kids when they're hungry. No, man, that's too much. Hey, you already ate. You ate last Thursday. Come on. And I basically joke that I, like, disrespect my family and don't really care about them, and I'm like with 20 different women, and I was like, well, you know what, now, like, I got a second family, so, you know, I've been working hard. I don't get to see either of them that much. It's been a real tough living. I don't understand Mexicans who can do that. How do you support 2 families on one income? A lot of gambling? I don't know, man. That'd be crazy. Like, paying for rent is based off this parlay. Oh, this parlay got hit, or else one of my family's not eating this month. Oh, man, that'd be crazy. So, you know, maybe the asteroid should hit. Maybe it needs to hit the ground and take out some of these unfaithful Mexicans. Not just Mexicans, unfaithful men, period. Full stop. We don't stop at the Mexicans. You know, the Mexicans, they're getting a lot of shit right now. So, you know, maybe we'll take a little break from them. Give them a time to figure their shit out. Fix their relationship with their wives and their children. Focus on some other racial group or all groups right now. Maybe they need a little break. Okay, last thing, the summer body, it's coming in. Like, you might look at this video and be like, Angel, the summer body is not coming in. But, you know, I feel it. I'm trying to hit my protein goal. I feel like I'm getting stronger. It takes time and patience. So I'm working with that. I tried to be more loose this episode, tried to be more free-flowing. There are some things that I guess gives me a second to think about or stuff like that. Don't cancel me on my Nora take. I'm sure there's people who agree with me. I just didn't love it. Will they win Best Picture? We never know. Okay, if I had to guess Best Picture winner, I'm saying her. My heart says Dune Part 2, but my brain says Anora. I'll say Anora wins Best Picture. I don't know if I believe in that, though. Okay, but that's my last goal. So, yep, everybody get their gains in. Stay super sweet. Stay so beautiful. Hit your goals. That's what I want for all of y'all. All my shawties out there. Hit those goals, yo. Get these gains. Not a lot of muscle right there, but it's coming in. I feel it. if this was 3D, you could like touch it. But like I said, there's not a lot there. All right, that's it, yo. That's the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm loving the support. I'm loving all of y'all. Stay tuned next week for more episodes, and check out my Instagram, Angel4Aguilar, and my TikTok, which is at PandulcePictures, as well as my YouTube at PandulcePictures. Subscribe, like, comment, share, follow. Tell your tias about it, because the tias got to get in on this too. Tell your tias this week to send me some chisme. If you have any form of contact with me, tell me your chisme from your family, and let's talk about it next week. Okay, I love you guys. Stay sweet. Peace out.